Cold, wet and windy. Not conditions in which you'd want to be sleeping outdoors. For some, it's not a choice, and among those camped out on Station Street, there are many stories of personal struggle.
I did safe for a bit, but it got too much because where I was, it was the drugs, and I had a history of drugs, and I didn't want to get back into it again. So I had to move onto the streets. And coming on the streets and that, it was a bit scary, and that because I didn't know anyone who out like that, and I didn't feel safe.
Because I'm a drinker, and I'm not a heavy drinker, but I do like a drink, and I've lost a good lot of relationships and friendships through that. So I find myself like sofa surfing, staying in hostels.
The camp was first set up on Christmas Eve, almost a week later, and there are nearly 20 tents lining the street. It was organised by Fight Back Nottingham, a group with ties to internet activist group Anonymous. They say that all who are sleeping here are homeless and are calling for the council to open up empty buildings to house them over winter.
We decided that the best option was to just give the people tents. They can do as they like with them. They chose to set up where they set up and decided to stay in a community for protection. We decided at that point that we would stay outdoors with them, install cameras, make sure that they're safe.
The camp is, of course, a matter of a few hundred yards from Nottingham City Council's main office, Loxley House. Now, the council says that they believe that most of the people here are neither homeless nor are they from Nottingham. Instead, they say that they're mostly protesters and as such should move on, as the issue of homelessness in the city isn't an issue on the scale that Fight Back claims. The statement from the council also mentions that accommodation has been offered to anyone at the camp who's homeless, but so far the offer has been declined. It continues to say that the winter shelter they operate has bed spaces for a minimum of 18, and with the last annual count showing 9 people a night sleeping rough in Nottingham, there is adequate provision and no need for empty buildings to be considered. It's a statement which is unlikely to make the campaigners back down.
The homeless people will only leave if they are all housed, all of them simultaneously, or if the empty buildings are open. We have identified an empty building for the council. All we are asking for is them to open the doors and turn on the water. If they do that, this ends tomorrow.
While the status of those sleeping here continues to be disputed, Notts TV understands that the council will now be taking legal action to have the people removed. It's a process which can take time, and just while we were filming, more donations of tents and blankets arrived. For now, the camp looks set not only to stay, but to grow. Hugh Caswell, Notts TV News.